Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Tailgate Talk with Garrett Metal Detectors. This week, Garrett is in the high desert of California. Our guest today is Dominic Ricci, Executive Director of Operations at LDMA, Lost Dutchman's Mining Association. Dominic, tell us something about your operations.
Well, we have 9 properties across the United States. You're on one of the most beautiful ones here in Southern California. Sometimes people come out here and they go, ooh, desert. But you know how much history, how much gold is right here. It's waiting to be found. And the cool thing is you guys are out here during one of our detector training and hunts to help teach people how to use their detectors better.
Exactly.
And we are finding gold.
Yes, sir. Amen.
You know, which is beautiful. And there's a lot more out there. And you guys, maybe a little me, but you guys are going to help them find it.
That sounds like fun. We're eager to help anybody with a detector any way we can to find more gold.
Absolutely.
Whether it's with a Garrett detector or another detector, but hey, we're here to have fun and educate the public on the use of metal detecting. That's what we do, and maybe they can watch this Tailgate Talk and learn something you and I can discuss today as well. Coming to the desert, what equipment do I need to bring for metal detecting?
For metal detecting out here, you know, obviously your metal detector.
Okay.
Scoop, pick.
Okay.
I say gloves because you're going to be down in the dirt touching some stuff.
Okay.
Sunscreen, you can see it's nice and sunny out here. Stay hydrated, water. Now let's get into more detecting. You know, some people will actually use just plastic scoops. Some will actually use kind of a beach scoop depending on the sandy material.
Okay.
And probably even knee pads because you're going to get down.
Right, I've gotten down on my knees a couple times out here and I'm glad to have my knee pads on. There's everything out here, either scratches or bites or pokes. Mojave Desert, so as you can imagine, a lot of cactus out here. I've seen a lot of different varieties of beautiful stuff. And what kind of gold are we looking for out here?
Well, what we're really after is all placer gold.
Placer gold. And what is placer gold?
Placer gold, you know, it's not in that quartz that people are crushing up, and it's not in a mine shaft. We're going down maybe 6, 8 inches, 12 inches. You know,
Okay.
when we're actually digging material, not detecting, you know, we'll pull down to 12 inches. But detectors, they're going to go down about 6, 8 inches.
Gotcha. Okay. And are we expecting to find nuggets? Are we looking for smaller pieces? What recovery tools should we use for the gold once we detect it?
Well, there's people that are new to detecting that you've seen that they're going around and instead of, you know, scooping up and working it down in their scoop to find that nugget, a lot of them will just put it in a bucket. And then later they'll go down to maybe a panning trough and they'll start panning it out and they'll see what they found. You know, problem with that is they don't see it right there. And then they try to go, where did I find that at? And then they try to go back and they're not going to find it. But what I love is when you're right there, like earlier today, we experienced somebody out there, heard a target, started digging, was testing off of his scoop, and all of a sudden he yelled down saying, I got it, Eureka! You know, which made us walk all the way up that hill again.
That was a big hill.
But you know, did you see the smile on his face?
It was ear to ear.
And I think the second thing he said is, it has to have a sister, there's another tone.
Two in a hole.
He worked it, wasn't gold, another piece of lead, but to me that's what I love is that expression on their face when they're finding something.
And that excitement once you find gold, and then that sweet sound of maybe another piece in there. We tell everybody double check your holes.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Absolutely. Well, that's great stuff. If I was going to go up here today and start detecting, haven't been here before, what could you recommend to me, what I would look for as telltale signs where I may have a better chance of finding gold as opposed to wasting all my time in the wrong spot?
Great question. The first thing I'm going to say is before you go to any property, do some research.
Okay.
You know, today, more than the olden days, there's so many pieces of information out there. There's old maps. People have drone footage. There's ways to go look at the geology. If you don't want to do that level, when you come into a Lost Dutchman property, stop at the caretaker. One of the things our caretakers know is our property.
Sure.
And they're going to guide you in the right direction. So, you know, where we're at, where the camera can't see us, we can see where water had moved. And you always have to go, there's two times in life here. There's umpteen thousand years ago, and there's what we see in the last 100 to 1,000 years. So the earth changes,
Okay.
plates shift.
Okay.
So you have to look at what you see today and maybe what was even earlier. So when we brought people out earlier, we kind of explained, hey, here's an area that we found gold before.
Mm-hmm.
That's typical. First rule, most prospectors always go where they found gold before. That's a good sign.
Okay.
And then we start looking at the geology and the surface. There's a lot of hot rocks out here. You've been helping people with that. So we're going to guide you to certain areas where you should find more gold.
Gotcha. All right. And in these areas that we're describing, the different geologies and different topographies, is placer gold all we're going to find there? Would there be smaller pieces of gold that we could only find with a pan, or is there ample gold that you could find with a detector?
So out here, you're absolutely going to find it with a pan. You're going to,
Okay.
you know, that term fly poop, that real speck gold, you're going to go all the way down to that.
Okay.
Here in the desert, we have a lot of caliche, which is kind of a cement under the ground.
Okay.
Gold can't penetrate through that.
It's like a hard pan.
It's a hard pan. What'll happen there is when people are digging, when you hit that,
Right.
there's usually not worth your time and energy to go through it.
Okay.
But you want to sweep and vacuum all that up, because
Okay.
that's where the gold is.
It's stopped there at
It's-
that
that's-
hard surface.
It's sitting there waiting, saying,
Okay.
come get me.
Okay.
If you're detecting, obviously, you know, we're not looking for the fly poop. We want to find some pickers and nuggets and things like that. It's all around us right here,
Okay.
you know.
Is this the type of area where one may do crevicing?
We do have some crevicing on the property, but
Mm-hmm.
which we have crevicing tools, and we're just picking stuff out of there, dropping it into a pan, and that's where we would actually go pan it.
Gotcha.
We've had people with detectors and pinpointers kind of going up in there. I've only seen one person pull out a piece of gold, but I don't know how well they were doing it.
Okay. Interesting. On the history of this property here, how long has gold been recovered here that you know of?
We've had this property for over 40 years.
LDMA has had this property?
LDMA.
40 years.
40 years, and it's consistently bringing up more gold.
Excellent, excellent. Do you think that this property will ever be hunted out in our lifetime?
No,
No.
not at all.
Excellent.
Like currently right now, on one piece of the property, we're digging down to an ancient riverbed.
Uh-huh.
We've gone down a good distance, about 20 or so feet. We haven't even hit the real bedrock.
I see.
We're pulling up good gold right now, and we actually go down with detectors as well, because
Okay.
that tells us which way we're going to turn. And then we know if we go down probably another 10 or 15 feet, we will hit that bed. That's just in one location.
Nice.
And we have multiple locations on the property. So in our lifetime, no. It's going to still be here.
Okay. I have a question. We're in the desert. Everybody knows that the desert is hot, dry, arid, lack of water. I've always associated gold panning, gold hunting, using water. Do we have to use water here in the desert to find gold other than with a detector?
No.
No.
There-
What
there-
process would you use?
There's another technique. There's dry panning.
Dry
So
panning.
if I was out in this area and I was starting to dig in, obviously I'm going to use my detector. If just with a shovel, I can dig in, I can fill a pan. There's a technique of dry panning without water. Not a lot of people can do it. It is a task to learn.
Okay.
But if I don't have water, it's easy. And that will tell me if I need to spend time there or not.
Gotcha, gotcha. And of course, one could bring water in and do the typical
Absolutely.
wet panning if you wanted to. I got you.
Absolutely.
So obviously this property is popular. We've seen a large crowd here this several days we've been here. Numerous activities going on. Are there other properties that LDMA occupies where similar events take place?
Absolutely. So we're across the United States. We have Oregon, California, Arizona, Colorado, North and South Carolina, and Georgia. Those are the main states we're in. So we have official camps, we have additional properties, and we also have exclusive claims for our Lost Dutchman members.
Gotcha.
different type of gold in every one of them. Every camp is unique.
Uh-huh.
So with that kind of, let's call it arenas, we host all different kinds of events at them, whether we're digging big dirt, high volume, whether there's social events, whether they're detecting events, whether we do training. So we host different ones at all of our properties.
I see. And how often do you have these type of events for LDMA?
If you ask my wife, I'm gone all the time.
By design?
No. Basically, we probably have about 40 events that we do a year.
Wow, 40 events. You're a busy man. 52 weeks out of the year, I guess she does see you're gone a lot.
She does, and the beautiful thing is I'm not at all of them,
Okay.
which does help. I have a great team of people with me that host some of the smaller ones, which
That
is
helps.
great. But I love to come in. I love to see our members, our participants. I meet new friends and family all the time, but the key to behind that is we're teaching people, or
Excellent.
we're enhancing skills.
Okay.
We want people, if I was to get my Garrett box here,
Nice.
and you always have to carry a pan with yourself.
Oh yeah, look at those gold pans.
We'll zoom in on this later, but if you start seeing some of this gold, I'm kind of putting different sizes in there.
Oh my.
Did you hear that clunk, clunk, clunk? We got pans here, different size gold. This drives people. They get so excited about this. They want to find this.
Absolutely.
And when you find
Me
one,
included.
you got to find more. But the beauty about Lost Dutchman is we're one big family where, the gold is all of us walking around.
Okay.
But some people go, great, I ain't selling you, I want to go find some gold. We got all this around. Every single camp has this. And it's waiting for people to find it. It's good old, when you grew up, did you play hide and seek?
Absolutely.
Gold's playing hide and seek with us right now.
It's time to go find it, isn't it?
We got to find it. Do we got a new detector that we can find it?
We do have a new detector. Funny you should mention that. Have you heard about the new Garrett Axiom Ultra Pulse Induction metal detector?
I have. It stopped me in my place. I got excited.
Have you seen how light it is?
Well, there's other detectors that, you have a harness and all this stuff and it's a long day. That, it's like you just walk it around.
Adjustable, lightweight, rechargeable battery, backlight, super lightweight, 6 different coils, double D and mono. It is a gold machine. Find more gold with the Garrett Axiom. I can't wait to get started out here in this treasure trove and find some of this gold with this detector. You're gonna have to try it as well.
I'm going to, because most people know I haven't detected much. So really part of my motive of having you come out here and help the others, I listen to you. I'm watching what you're doing with our people. Like we have somebody right over here that he's just getting started.
Absolutely.
We'll see him in a minute, but they're getting excited. So I am getting excited, and it's time for Dominic to get his detector in his hand.
I think it's time for all of us to get a detector in our hand and go see what we can find out here in these beautiful hills of the Mojave Desert and find more gold.
Did you hear that?
I heard that.
Come get us. Come find us.
Excellent.
I think we gotta go find some gold.
Let's go find some gold. Dominic, I'd like to thank you
My
for
pleasure.
spending this time with us today and telling us a little bit about LDMA, showing us how we can find some more gold out here in this beautiful property, talking to us about treasure time and metal detecting, sharing with us some gold, and telling us how we can acquire our own. Hopefully some of you folks come out and meet up with Dominic, give him a call at the office, get your LDMA membership in, and come out and join the fun. Thousands of people are doing it. You should be one.
Absolutely.